I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite. It's number 9. You can trust people to be who they are, not who you want them to be.
I hear that very often from my clients, my patients that read the book, that they just love number 9 because they have wasted so much time in the past trying to not only get people to do things differently, but expecting them and being disappointed time and again. One of the things that was not written in chapter 9 that absolutely should have been included there is the fable of the frog and the scorpion, which is a story where the scorpion asks the frog for a ride across the pond, and the frog says, "You got to be kidding me. I'm not riding you anywhere because you could sting me." And the scorpion says, "Yeah, I could, but that wouldn't make any sense. I can't swim. If I sting you, we both drown." And the frog says, "Well, I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll give you a ride." So as the story progresses, they get somewhat across the pond, and the frog feels a sharp sting in the neck. And before he goes down, he turns and he looks back at the scorpion and he says, "Why?" And the scorpion says, "Because I'm a scorpion." And I think that's an important lesson, because what did you expect your mom to say? You've told me how many times that mom always says, and now you're upset when she said it again. What did you expect the car salesman to do? Do you know what he does? He tries to sell cars for a living. That's how he gets paid. Mm-hmm. And so we create these little sayings like, Joe will be Joe, Jennifer will be Jennifer, Dad will be Dad. There's a true story of a woman who would talk to her mother every Sunday on the phone, and every Sunday she'd hang up in tears because of the critical nature of the words. Her mom trying to get her to change things according to the way mom wanted her to be. I said, "You are not going to not call your mother, are you?" She said, "No, I have to keep calling my mother." I said, "Yeah, I knew that. But what if we tried something else? What if before mom gets on the phone, you write down 10 things that mom is probably likely to say. And then when she says them, you just check them off and just see how that goes." Well, the next week, I didn't even get a chance to sit in my chair yet. She goes, "I got 8 out of 10. I got 8 out of 10. I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Remember that list? Mom said 8 of the things that I thought she would." And she was so excited and empowered because instead of being in tears, she was saying, "I knew she would say that. I knew she would say that." She'd kind of shifted the entire conversation because she no longer had to be hurt, because she could predict that this was what mom was going to do. What did you expect mom to do except be mom? Mm-hmm. So we teach people, people are going to stay in character throughout the whole movie, and you have a pretty good clue what they're going to do because you observe how they are. So in our office, for instance, we'll say, "Oh, it's 5 after 11. Who's coming in?" "Oh, don't worry, he'll be here. He's late all the time." "Whoa, this one's always 15 minutes. If she's not here yet, there's a problem."
Right.
Because we can trust her to be who she is. And if she's not here at 5 after, something's amiss.
Right. And also, I think that's true with people who take things, steal things. You put an application in. Well, what's your, these 3 guys said that you've stolen from them. That's why you're dismissed. Why would I hire you and put you in charge of something that is easily pawnable? And of course, the person would say, "Well, you got to give me a chance. I'm a new person." But, you go, well, you got to trust them to be who they are. And,
exactly.
And I deal with a lot of people who have addictive behavior, and it's a repeat. And when they do it, they go off the wagon again, maybe crack cocaine. And I've had some friends of mine say, "Well, I told them they could talk to me." And I go, but it's who they are. You just got to accept them for who they are. You hope that they will do better. But when they don't act surprised or hurt or wounded as if they betrayed you. They weren't betraying you. That's just part of their own psyche they're having to deal with. And,
which goes back to the previous truth. Don't take ownership over other people's behavior.
Yeah.
If somebody's, there's that song from a few years ago that the kids were playing that haters gonna hate, 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 hate. And the song title was Shake It Off, meaning that's who they are, that's what they're gonna do. Cheaters gonna cheat.
Right.
And that brings up, I think, a really excellent question that so many have asked me over the years, which is, I caught him cheating one time. What does that mean? Can I trust him again? So I want to say to them, we now know he has the capacity to cheat. We don't know if he has the willingness to do that another time. We know he did it once. Is he a serial philanderer? Or is he somebody who made a poor choice, and because the consequences were so significant, he'll never do that again? I have met dozens and dozens of people who admittedly cheated once, and they'll say, I will never do that again because it was horrible when I was caught. I had a man in the hospital once who attempted suicide by shooting himself in the stomach. And it was tremendously painful and did not accomplish anything and he said to me in the hospital, Doc, I'll never do that again. And I believed him.
No.
Because sometimes you only need to do something once to realize that there's no real payoff to that. So just because somebody cheats one time does not mean they'll do it from now on.
Right. But it takes a while to rebuild that trust relationship.
It does.
But it can be rebuilt.
It can be.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
And there are many couples who, because of the work they did after the affair, are stronger than they were before the affair. Not because of the affair, but because of the work they did to repair that.
Right.
And there was forgiveness, and there was a choice to reconcile, and a choice to trust. And so here's one of the main thrusts of that chapter, of that truth, which is, since I don't know what you're going to do, when I engage in a contract of any kind with you, I'm trusting me.
Right.
So, you and I agreed to meet tonight at 6:30. You trusted that I'd be here. I trusted that you'd be here. But we both trusted ourselves that if the other one didn't make it, that life would go on. We would figure it out. One of us got called to the hospital or something, that we could handle that. So anytime you choose to trust someone, it's important to realize that I'm choosing to trust me.
Right.
It's like one of those investment risk things where they say, we need $20,000, but you may never see this $20,000 again. You could be rich off of this, or you could say goodbye. In my case, it's always say goodbye to the $20,000. Right. It never comes back with more. But I have to say at the beginning, I'm willing to risk that I may not see this. Mm-hmm. So in a new relationship, I want to say to you, I will be faithful to you. I'll do my very best, and I'm going to trust that you will be with me, which means I'm not going to follow you around. I'm not going to be checking your cell phone or sneaking into your email or any of that. I'm choosing to trust you. Should you demonstrate that you are not worthy of my trust, that wonderful word, trustworthy, then it's on me to decide what I'm going to do. And I will land on my feet. I'll be okay. I'll hurt. I'll feel betrayed. I'll feel angry. But I will know that I held my part of the bargain, and your behavior's about you.
But something a little less traumatic would be, and I think you mentioned it before, someone who's late.
Yeah.
Someone who's habitually late. You could trust they're going to be habitually late.
You can.
Unless they somehow quit giving themselves permission, back to another principle.
Right.
I'm no longer going to give myself permission to be late. But at some point, you go, they're late. Yeah, just, you got to understand, they're just usually 5 minutes late.
That's just who they are.
And
they're likely to do.
And they're not not a bad person.
Right.
They just have gotten some habits that are different than my habits. And I'm habitually on time. I'm not late, and I'm not much early. I come screeching in there just a few minutes to go is normal, but occasionally early, and occasionally when I am tardy, I often will text, say, I'm sorry, running 2 minutes late, just late, because I like people to be fairly punctual. But anyway, that's it. But I love that one. I love that because I have so many people in my life, I just accept them for who they are. And it
that's
helps
really
me.
Where we're going. I don't want to personalize what they do. If you're given a sermon and somebody comes 15 minutes late, There are people who would be outraged by that because they would take it personally and feel disrespected
Right.
and diminished. Like, how could you do that to me? And really, the message is, this is who you are, this is what you do, and it's up to me to decide where are my boundaries.
Right.
And I might say, everyone's welcomed at all times. Sorry you missed the best part of the sermon.
Right.
Or I might do what they do in driver improvement school says, the doors are locked at 7. If you're here at 7:02, sorry, you didn't get in. You know, those are choices that I have, but I don't have choice to control other people. And I may not personalize the behavior of others because their behavior is about them.
That's excellent. I think it's well said.